this drill, why is it important? Well, we're going to start with the necessary hip movement. We are starting from ground zero on the triangles. I know you guys had a day of some fairly complex triangles. I would consider topside triangles pretty complex. We're going to go to the basics and understand how to launch one effectively and how to create the necessary space to get one locked up. And then we're going to explore some of the things that are necessary for being able to launch triangles and arm bars for that matter. Okay, we've got to have some hip flexibility. All right, I'll talk about this here in just a minute. So we're launching this from a closed guard. So first thing that we have to be able to do is we have to understand that this is probably the most important thing that we'll do when it comes to launching a triangle. So many people, they hold this closed guard and they have nothing but dual sleeve control, and then they push back and then they go to try to shoot the legs up and they have no hips up. They have no hip flexion, okay? The way that what we're looking for here, do me a favor and just put your hands behind your back so people can see. If you guys get on this side and see, sit back as far as you can. Are you just that damn big? Yeah, you are. Okay, lean forward. You suck. This hurts. God. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this with giants is we're going to open our legs up, all right, and we're gonna lift our hips up. This is probably one of the most important aspects of this, because when we lift our hips up, now we can draw a leg back. With my hips down, if I draw my leg back, most likely with my hips down, he's checking my hip, okay? Which means it's stuck on the mat. Now, if he checks my hip, just puts hands on my hip, and I go to lift, it's incredibly difficult to do with one leg. But I can do it very easily with two, right? What I'm doing is I'm using his hips to leverage myself. If I end up with at least one sleeve control, it's very, very easy. If I have one head control aspect of this, it's even easier to do it and also keep him from running away from me, because what we want is close the distance between my hips and his chin. It's ultimately what we're looking for, but we're trying to get some elevation here. Now, once I get some elevation, now one can stay on and it kind of lets me start moving, right? And this is what allows me to start feeding a leg inside, and ultimately, boom, there's my shot, and it works, okay? The problem becomes when my hips stay up underneath him and I have no ability to elevate. I have no ability to scoot away. I can't create any distance. Triangles require some distance to get them shot, unless you're just going for your standard old school back in early 2000 where I grab here, shove the arm, and shoot the leg over the head. Okay, that works for about 6 weeks. Once you get up here in a higher level, it don't work no more. So one of the most important things that we're gonna learn how to do is to open our guard. So when I'm here, I have never felt like I had short legs until now. This is absolutely freaking ridiculous. Jesus Christ, I'm about to get somebody else. Okay, that's better. All right, now, excuse me having to gripe. I'm gonna open up and lift my hips up. Now, I'm gonna start to get this twisting motion of the hips. Now, what this does is this is gonna create separation. Also, what it does is it's gonna give me a high side knee at a moment that is very, very beneficial to me. I get to pick. So if I go here, there's my first shot. Okay, so I've created this space. Now, when I create this space, I'm in this kind of this scissor position, all right? It's very hard for him to kind of penetrate down the middle and close this, because I'm almost in kind of a knee shield position right here, all right? So technically, depending on what I do with this knee, I have both legs that I can issue a shot from here, okay? Or I can bring one around and go that direction. Got multiple shots. Shooting from the hip with both feet up here is a different story, okay? So what we're gonna learn to do is we're gonna learn to create the necessary separation. This drill is gonna start over on the gray. We're gonna be here. Dual sleeve control, I'm gonna open up my guard, hips are gonna come up. Now I need to create the necessary separation, so I'm going to start twisting from one side to the next, just a hip switch. 1, 2, 3, and look how far I've created separation, right? That far away from this guy. Now my feet are down here more around his head as opposed to being behind his back. Now it's a lot easier for me to come inside, start working some angles to shoot the triangle, okay? So we're gonna do this with a partner We're gonna go all the way down the mat. We're gonna start in closed guard, double sleeve control. We unlock, elevate our hips. Don't be in a hurry for this. It's the most important part of the drill. We'll get to the rest of it whenever. So here, I'm gonna start to shuck side to side. 1, 2, 3. You wanna get to where your foot just catches the back of his back here to stop you, all right? Reason we have sleeve control is so that he can't just start manipulating my feet for a passing sequence. Now I've got him locked here, okay? Double sleeve, so now I can start to work down the middle. Ideally, for triangle launches, we need to control the hands. Most important part. So we're gonna start on the gray. We're gonna go from gray to gray with our groups. Once you get down to the other gray, you're gonna switch and you're gonna come back. Let's get it, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm zoomed in. Cross grip, pull up. There we go. We understand the lower body movement. So 1, 2, I'm just gonna go 2, say 2. Now we're gonna shoot and lock, and then we're back down. Now we're gonna do this drill again. I hope you guys weren't hoping that was all you're doing. That's not all you're doing, no. 1, 2, 3, shot, back down. 1, 2, shot, back down. 1, 2, shot. Remember, you're closing distance, okay? So we need to be moving. You'll have to figure out your alternates. 1, 2, 3, high side, shoot, lock, okay? 1, 2, 3, now I'm back on that side again. High side, lock, okay? 1, 2, 3, back on that side, lock, okay? 1, 2, 3, I did it! Back on that side. All right, now notice every time I'm shooting the alternate leg over the shoulder, if I don't screw up my movement, right? So this, I want you to think as you go through here. It's been a while since I've done the drill too. The goal is to understand the way the lock looks. One of the hardest things that I remember when I was learning triangles was which leg goes over the shoulder? It's like, which goes under, and which way do I move, okay? So this drill, as we move, we shoot over the shoulder, we have the lock. We're not even incorporating the pull yet, okay? Actually, I'll tell you what, we can't incorporate the pull. It's not, y'all are good enough, y'all can do this. Once we get to here, okay, we're gonna bring the arm across, we're gonna bail on the sleeve and pull. Okay, then we're gonna go back. Yeah, then 1, 2, 3, shot, there's the lock. I reach across and pull his arm, not across, I pull it up, up. So many people try to pull across. His strength is resisting me pulling across with his arm, but if I pull up, it's much easier because now I've got that space that's necessary. Everybody seems to think they gotta pull the arm across. No, if I pull the arm up, I'm getting the elbow out of the way to get the leg over the shoulder and finish the triangle lock. I wanna cover this up in a minute anyway. This is not necessary. Pull the arm up because if we miss the triangle, the secondary is to move to a what? Arm bar. Right? So we can go to the arm bar off of that. So let's not mess it up. Partner, 1, 2, 3. Leg's gonna come up. Coil, boom, shot, lock. Reach across, pull, okay? Pull up, not across. Grab it, pulling up here by your breastplate, right here, okay? Right here. Now, we're gonna work on the lock here in just a minute. Boom, right? When we get to back, 1, 2, 3. Pop, grab, pull up, because I can lift my hips and recruit my hips to help pull it across. Whereas if I'm pulling, or pull it up, not across. If I'm pulling across, have nothing to recruit. Here, I can lift, pull up. Now I can lock my triangle and I can finish. Close. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.